Quote of the week: we can find total disaster in the smallest upset, and we can find some joy in the greatest tragedy. It is up to us, Louise Hay. Welcome, everybody. It's Jason Barlow, RMT, and I'm here today as your therapist and as your coach to help you transform stress, tension, and pain into health, happiness, and vitality. So yesterday, I had a very rare opportunity to sit by myself, have the TV to myself, and indulge in a movie that was recommended to me by a patient just a couple of weeks ago. The movie I highly recommend to watch, is based on a true story, is called Penguin Bloom. It's on Netflix. Now, I don't want to spoil the movie for you, so if you want to watch it first, I'm not going to give you all I'm not going to take it away from you, but I'm going to just give you the essence of the story so you understand this quote today. It revolves around a tragedy for a family that took place in Australia several years ago, whereby the mum, very active, very engaged as a mother with 3 young boys, has an accident. Something arises, something happens, and she's left in a certain condition. That's all I'll say. And it's all to do with the perspective. You know, we all have different experiences in life. We never know what's even around the corner yet to come. You know, and there's one firm imprint in my mind from Buddhism is that difficulties arise only if we respond to challenges, those problems in our life, with negative states of mind. That we can encounter many, many different types of experience. Some might be minor, as Louise Hay's saying in this quote. We might just stub our toe and we might be the angriest person in the world in response to that. Or we may not be. We may choose otherwise, right? Or we may be in one of the most challenging situations in our life. Physical illness, mental illness, dealing with difficult family situations that are going on, financial turbulence. I mean, just what's happened in this past year. And we may choose instead to have an experience of joy despite these challenges that are actually arising. So what's going on there? What's the dynamic? Guess what? It's coming back to mindset again. And sometimes I've had this question back to me that being a Buddhist, you practice patience. People must walk all over you. Absolutely not. There's nothing passive about being Buddhist. There really isn't. We would get involved with whatever is necessary to help be of benefit to not just ourselves, but other people. If that means involving by separating 2 fighting boys that are about to tear each other's heads off, or that's how it appears, then that's what's necessary at that time. But we can observe our mind and not be angry. We can have compassion as we enter into that space and separate these 2 people, these 2 kids. We always have choice. That's the essence of Louise Hay's quote this week. We can find the total disaster in the smallest upset. We stub our toe and we're so angry. We take it out on everybody around us. Or we can also find some joy in the greatest tragedy. It is up to us. Wherever you go, there you are. You might have heard me say this, and I'll continue to say it, because we have to keep reminding ourselves. If there's something I've learned, is that especially to foster new habits, to have more health, happiness, and vitality, it might involve some big cranks and cogs turning and shifting that might have not been shifted for some time. And a lot of that can be just sheer stubbornness from our mind's point of view. So I'm going to keep reaffirming that the mindset is absolutely critical when it comes to having more healthy, happy energy in our life. Louise Hay's great work is helping people, and she's passed now, but her legacy lives on through her great research in her books, one of which is called You Can Heal Your Life, an amazing book. I often refer to this for my patients with some ailments that are coming up, and especially if they're not responding to traditional treatments, whether it's massage, chiro, physio, doctor's treatments, medication. To me, if a body's not responding to that, there's something beyond just the physical manifestation of that pain, that we have to be prepared to dive into our minds. And if we're not, then we're going to only achieve temporary results. And we're only going to be able to go so far in obtaining those changes and transformations. So I'm here to share with you that if you're looking for more expression of health, happiness, and vitality, check out some of these quotes that I'm sharing every week. Because again, with this quote, we can find total disaster in the smallest upset, and we can find some joy in the greatest tragedy. It is up to us, by Louise Hay. It is our choice. This person, this experience can become our object of anger, frustration, and irritation, or same person, same experience, same situation. This can be an opportunity for us to practice love, compassion, and patience. And just to finish, because I had this personal experience just a week ago, I just shot my live video, quote of the week as I do on a Monday. Then I got a phone call, and there was a change that happened with our basketball team. We went from 9 boys on the team, whoop, just like that, evening, to 4 boys. Essentially, we didn't have a team anymore. And thankfully, I just come off a meditation retreat, and here were my objects, my people, my objects of patience and love and compassion, understanding their side of where they're coming from, why the move was going to happen from the perfect. I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to be happy. What better wish is there than that? And so with that dynamic, then I had to deal with those that were left and not feeling happy. They felt, abandoned and so forth. So it was just a great experience for me this past week to actually apply, right? To take these things that I'm sharing with you. I've been applying them for years, but it was just a more immediate experience I've had in this last week that life changes, and it can change very quick, as we've experienced, everybody globally, on this last 12-month journey with COVID. That's why that book last week I recommended, right? Who Moved My Cheese? That's what life is like. It's ever evolving, dynamic, but we got to learn to control our mind in accordance with those external conditions and people, right? Because we're often saying, if she did this, if he said that, if they only listened, I'd be happy. Just check, because I've been checking for 16 years and I still catch myself. Oh, it's that. No, it's not their fault. That's hard to do, right? Because ego gets involved. It doesn't want to point the finger at me, myself. It wants to point out. It's easier to do multiple fingers pointing outside than it is to point on the inside. So just remember that this week. That's your homework. Check what goes on in your mind when you have a minor incident in your day, right? A small upset. Observe your mind, take heed, and then maybe this past week you've had a big challenge, right? You've rolled your ankle, you've had a major injury, right? That's a great tragedy in your life. How are you responding to that? And how, more importantly, how can you start to change the way that you're looking at those things? Just ask yourself, right? Whatever your faith is, if there's no faith, right? Just put it out to the universe. If you have faith towards God, then Jesus, Buddha, whoever that is for you, or whatever that looks like for you. It's got to be a very personal journey. But just ask, if this is a favorable condition, what is this teaching me? What spiritual lesson am I going to learn so I can see this as a good thing instead of a bad thing? Thank you for joining me. I hope you found out that of benefit. Quickly get on and get my book. It's going to be changing here pretty soon. So go get that free digital book. Go to my website, jasonbarlowrmt.com. Remember, your muscle health is my #1 priority, and I will see you guys tomorrow for my next